What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at Pangolin today, the 10th of April, Wednesday morning, looking here at the PNG USD. That's PNG USD daily chart on tradingview.com. This is the Coinbase price data, guys. So taking a look here, if you were not familiar with yesterday's video, Pangolin is currently in a cup with handle. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some downside targets if this doesn't break out and rolls over. We're going to drop over into Bitcoin. Guys, let's jump right into it. So we have PNG in this cup with handle pattern. So we have a nice rounding bottom here. And then we have the handle right here forming. So if you were to draw a straight line across here, this essentially is supposed to look like basically a coffee cup here, and then you have the handle right here from a side view. You put a little hole here, that's the handle. Anyways, this is a very classic pattern. It's a very bullish pattern. It takes time to play out, but it is a very bullish pattern that's been around for, I guess, as long as the markets, if not for a very, very long time. William J. O'Neill was a big player here in this pattern, in his How to Make Money in Stocks book. So arcblock just broke out with a cup with handle and made a massive, massive run to the upside. Pangolin is looking like it's a very similar formation. If anything, this is a much smoother, better looking pattern. So, if we're ahead of the game here and Bitcoin can continue higher, we should see a pretty large move higher for PNG. And also PNG is still looking bullish. Let's talk about a couple things here. So yesterday we ended up closing down the day 7.48% for PNG. Today, also lower. Nothing of too much concern. We do have some resistance in play at 52,400. That's this yellow line on the chart. So we got to close above it on the 8th, and we got to close below it yesterday on the 9th, and we are currently below it. So that is our active resistance right now. That's closest to the market. We need to get above that, and we want to close above that, and that'll start to put the scale back towards the bullish side and tell us, okay, there's a good chance we're going to be heading up towards 65 cents. But until that happens, we could trade sideways to lower. We have a couple things we want to talk about here for downside, and then we'll jump into the bullish scenario back to the upside. So if PNG, and then keep in mind, Bitcoin, we're going to get there. If PNG continues to trade sideways to lower and Bitcoin starts to do the same, well, we have a new target below the market, a bearish target, an area of support that if these markets start to move lower, we could look for the, the market gods, as you say, if you will, to support this market. We have a new level down there at 42,499. That's this blue line on the chart right here. So if PNG for some reason continues lower, I'll be looking for that area to be a support level for the market, and for the market to close, at or above that. Assuming it trades lower, look for it to trade back up and close above that. That level again, guys, is 42,499. So that also is sitting right at a very important low on the 3rd of April within this handle right here. So if we undercut that low and get a close below that low of the 3rd, that would not be good. If we undercut it and close strong, okay, well, there's still a chance that these markets could rally from here. So one, we want to watch 42,499, and two, we want to watch the lows over here on the 3rd of April. Those are at 42 cents. We don't want to make lower lows. Right now, we are holding. We have the higher lows and higher highs in play, higher lows, higher highs. We don't want to start making lower lows and lower highs and start a downtrend, at least for the bulls. If you're bearish, then of course that's what you want. But right now, these markets are actually looking very close to breaking out to the upside. So that is to the downside. We do have one more to talk about here. And of course, this would really put the markets into a downtrend, which could just be short term. The price level of support is down there at 36,645. It's this blue line on the chart, guys. 36,645. So number one, 42,499. If that, that could hold for a short period of time and the markets could continue lower. Once again, depends on what Bitcoin does. And then the next one I'd be looking for support would be 36,645. It's this blue line. So those are the two new levels that were not in yesterday's Pangolin video. 36,645, 42,499. All right, so that is the downside area here to watch for PNG. Now, going back to yesterday's video, all is well still for this cup with handle. Looking for a large breakout to the upside. So right now, it's getting back above the level from yesterday for starters, and then it's getting back above the, let's see, we had 61,983 and 62. So we're looking for a big break above the 62 level. Above the 62 level, which would be right here. And this would be the breakout, so above the 62 level. So the entry for the cup with handle pattern is above the high of the left-hand side of the handle, which would have come in on the 28th of March. That high would have been 62, and that would be your entry point there. So the rules for that trading system, if I recall correctly, is a 7 to 8% stop loss, 7 to 8% stop loss. And depending how your trading system is, is written out, that's a pretty large stop loss. But if you're trading some volatile products like cryptocurrency, you might need that. So that's something that you need to consider. If you're at a 7 to 8% stop loss from 62, let's call it right here, you don't have much room. I mean, 57 or so cents, probably a little bigger there. Let's call it, yeah, right around 57 cents would be where your stop loss would be, right in here. So if you entered at 62, you'd have roughly a 57 stop loss. And that's not much for something like this, especially in crypto where the markets can move massive in one day. So that's something you need to figure out, and what works for you. You have to run some numbers. You have to figure out, there's a lot to figure out on that, but that's not for this video. For the upside target, so for a cup with handle, you're looking for a depth of the cup. So you take basically where I have my fibs here, you take the swing high of the cup and the low of the cup, and you take that difference, and then you would add that to the entry point, to the highs there of the left-hand side of the cup. That would give you a rough price target of where you're looking for this to move if it can break out. For this chart, for this PNG USD chart, that would be up there at $1.12. So that's this green line right here, 112, $1.12 USD would be your target to shoot for on a solid breakout above the highs of the left-hand side of the cup. And that's going to look like just about 62. Let's say everything works out perfectly. You're looking at about an 80% move higher in price from 62 to $1.12. So if that takes place, that would be an incredible move. Guys, we just about saw that take place over in the arcblock chart, ABTUSDT. Our target was $3.12 if I recall, and we just about hit $3, so it was very, very close. So if we could, fast forward in the future, Pangolin breaks out, continues higher, maybe it takes a couple days or so, and we just about hit, or maybe even trade higher than our $1.12, and you can look back and this will be another perfect play. But there's a couple roadblocks you got to get in front of first. One is you got to close above 52,400. Two, you got to break out above 62 and hold. And then you have levels, at least these are levels I'll be watching, which will be 65, 72, 540, 88.6, 89.1. And then you have a couple up here at 106.9, 110. And then, of course, 112 would be your target. So there's a couple roadblocks along the way before you even get up to 112. But based on just this pattern, if you want to trade it perfectly, you want to first of all have the correct amount of capital allocated to a trade. So if it doesn't go in your favor, you don't get wiped out on a 7 to 8% stop loss if that's what you decide to use. But anyways, $1.12 is what you'll be looking for, guys. All right. So keep your eyes on those new targets below the market if this thing decides to sell off, which would be 42,499, 36,645. Those are lower targets for PNG, guys. Those are new. Those are not in yesterday's video. And then 2, keep your eye on today, 52,400, 62 entry, 65, 72, 540. And then if we start to really move for whatever the reason may be, you have 86, 89, 1, 106, and 110. And then, of course, 112 would be the target based on just this pattern alone. And if you notice to the left, I have all the fibs laid out. I've had those on for a while now. Of course, those give you, just for starters, your first target is above the 112. You're up there at $1.47. We'll jump into those in the next video, again, if you're a new viewer. So that's my thoughts here on PNG, both to the downside, because we got a pretty weak close yesterday, but it could just be, temporary. And then we talked about some upside stuff. So please make your own financial decisions. It's not financial advice. Let's jump over to Bitcoin, BTC. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Down, basically flat today. So we have Bitcoin here, did try to make a break higher 2 days ago over on the 8th. We got a pretty good reversal yesterday, although the markets are finding support yesterday and today at 68,748. That's an important area, guys. That's that purple line on the chart. That's pretty new, as well as the resistance above the market at 71,335. So keep your eye on the 71,335. Keep your eye on 68,748. Those are both important. Let's see if we can get back to where the 8th of April was. We hit a high at 72,777. So we need to continue this rally higher. Maybe this pullback is temporary, but it's important that Bitcoin gets its act together and starts to move higher again. It tried to and got rejected. That's a pretty strong area of resistance. That's 71,335. Look back over here. So we have the 1st of April. We have the 31st of March. We have the 28th, 27th, 26th, and 25th of March. All resistance at 71,335. And once again, the 8th and 9th of April resistance again. So it's an important area. So once that breaks to the upside, if it does, it's going to be a very strong move higher. Guys, thanks for watching. All links are down below. It does help support the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so. Turn the bell on if you want to be notified. Have a great Wednesday.